What's up, guys? Today's video is all about collecting video games. Now, I'm making this video because I love the N64. I love the Super Famicom. I really do. But today I did the unthinkable. I actually put my N64 back in my drawer. You might be wondering, why the hell did you do that if you love it so much? Well, I was spending a little bit of money on games on eBay, and I always try to sell some other things so that I can buy some new things. But honestly, the reason why is because I got bored. I was playing a lot of Smash Brothers, a lot of Mario Kart 64. And as much as I love those games, they don't really change that much. And when you know, a game has to exist by its own set of fixed rules, right? So once you know the rules and know how to exploit them, you pretty much have the game in the bag, right? So I got bored, so I just have my Super Famicom plugged in right now with my little Game Boy Color. But today's video is about collecting video games. I have quite a few N64 games, as you guys have seen from my last video. I've picked up a few more since that video has come out. And well, as somebody who studies the Tao Te Ching a lot, I thought it'd be a great opportunity for me to kind of talk about how we collect anything, not just video games. It could be anything. It doesn't even have to be that much money. It might not even have a community behind it. It could be anything, right? Acorns, rocks, whatever you can think of. Those things are free. So I wanted to read the very first verse of the Tao Te Ching. This is the, what is this? The Goddard translation from 1919. Translated by Dwight Goddard, 1919. You can get this version. This is one of the many copies of the Tao Te Ching that I have. I like this translation because it's very short and succinct. I'm going to read this first verse to you, and then I'm going to reread the part that I have highlighted for myself to memorize. So what is the Tao? The Tao that can be understood is not the eternal cosmic Tao. Just as an idea that can be expressed in words is not the infinite idea. And yet this ineffable Tao is the source of all spirit and matter. Expressing itself, it is the mother of all created things. Not to desire material things is to know the freedom of spirituality. And to desire them is to suffer the limitations of matter. These two things, spirit and matter, so different in nature, have the same origin. This unity of origin is the mystery of mysteries and the gateway of spirituality. Now, I didn't want to make this video all about the Tao Te Ching, as much as I love it, but I wanted to talk about that. Oh, actually, one sec. Let me reread that part that I have highlighted for myself. This is part of the reason why I put my stuff away. Not to desire material things is to know the freedom of spirituality, and to desire them is to suffer the limitations of matter. I mean, you guys can probably figure out what that means. When we desire stuff, like when we're collecting, it's so easy to buy up games. Like when I go to the video game store that my buddy Tony and I go to, usually once every a couple Fridays, it's so easy, guys, to buy old games. Buying old games is like crack to me. It feels so good, doesn't it? Right? Because they're better than what we have today. It's like, yeah, I just snagged, like last week, I snagged my Super Famicom. And I did a big video reveal on that. And I got Rockman X. And I got The Secret of Mana in English, or Seiken Densetsu ni. And really excited to play those. And but eventually the high that you get when you collect physical things comes down back to your baseline level of happiness. And then sometimes you might say, well, shoot, why did I buy that? I didn't actually want this as badly as I thought after all. Now, that hasn't happened with my Famicom. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying with other things that I've collected in the past, I've like, why did I feel like I needed this? And really what it comes down to is fulfilling your inner void. A lot of us collect a lot of materialistic things to attempt to fulfill ourselves, especially if things aren't going well in life. My life's fine, but I'm still unemployed, so I have no business spending money. Let me just be honest. That's part of the reason why it bothered me sometimes. So I had to take a break, put my N64 away. I got bored anyway. I'm like, all right, I don't have to buy every game that I see just because it's in Japanese as much as I want to, because I love the language. I'm an astute student of Japanese. You know, I do study with video games, but sometimes you have to be at a certain level to really study with a game that you bought. So you can't really use that excuse all the time. At least I can't. You know, and it's so easy to just to see, and you're like, ah, man, I want that. Or like you think of like GoldenEye. I was looking at GoldenEye on N64 to get it again, looking at prices, and then I thought, well, when I had it, I never really played it. You know, so sometimes we get so caught up in the need of like, oh, if I just had that thing back, that'd be so much fun, right? Life's hard right now. I'm unemployed. I'm not making any money. I make a little money here and there on eBay when I sell stuff, but you know, it's like, damn it, life's so hard, or oh, this sucks. If I just buy this next Japanese game, it's gonna make me happy. And it might, you know, for a day or two, but eventually that situation that I was trying to put a band-aid on was not working. It's not changing, right? Now I've been doing my due diligence. I applied for Farm and Fleet today as well. So I'm doing what I have to do to try to fix my situation that I'm in. Getting a job these days is fucking horrific, and I'll get into that in another video, I think. But you know, I just really wanted to make this video and let everybody know that, you know, to desire things and collect and you know, collect and buy and purchase and purchase, all you're trying to do is fill that void. Something is missing in your life, right? Whether it be, you know, you might be like, well, my generation, like, oh, well, I can't afford the house. I can't afford a wife and kids. Well, at least I can buy this video game that no one's ever heard of. You know what I mean? Like, and then you feel good about it. You're like, yeah. And, you know, coming from somebody who's got a little bit of OCD myself, you know, my room, all my stuff that I have is in my room. And I constantly reorganize my closet. I haven't touched it in a few days. I've been very good about that. I reorganize my drawers all the time. And the reason why I do it is because it gives me some modicum of control in an uncertain world. If things aren't going well for me, like if I'm not employed and I'm not making any money, I'm going to feel bad about that. And I don't feel like I'm fully in control of getting a job that pays well enough to get me somewhere. So when I reorganize my closet or reorganize my shelves or whatever, it makes me feel good because I feel like I have control over a world that I can't control. Even if it's just some small irrational way, as in trying to move my bed, rotate it up against the wall and move my headboard around. It's just weird, wacky stuff. It makes no sense. But I do it because I'm like, yeah, I'm determining what happens in this room. Yeah, I control this little slice of the pie, right? And it's goofy, but, you know, it does help. It brings some peace to my mind, you know. But I probably should leave my closet alone. I probably should. It's fine the way it is now. I barely have anything in there. I don't like having stuff in my closet because then I forget what I have. So I don't like that. So that's why I constantly keep doing that. So when we buy things, like when I buy a Super Famicom game at the used video game store when they have them, I am in a sense trying to flex my assertive, minute control, diminutive control over my situation, right? I know I'm unemployed. I'm not making a lot of money or any money really. Make a little bit of money here from YouTube here and there, or not YouTube, eBay rather. So when I buy a game or a Super Famicom for $85, you know, it makes me feel like I have some control over my situation. And this is dangerous because this can be addicting, right? Because it's not real. It's not real control. I'm not controlling anything. I'm giving them my money. And if anything, they're in control of me because I know that my Achilles heel is Japanese video games and Japanese systems. I know that. I have no business going into that store, but yet I keep doing it once in a while because it's like crack going in there, dude, seeing what they have. It's the thrill of the chase, the thrill of the discovery. What are you gonna find, dude? What if you find Super Mario Kart in the wild on Famicom? You know, oh my God, you know, or like what other gems? You can never have too many N64 controllers. You can never have too many Super Famicom controllers. What if they have them? I gotta get up there. No, you don't. It's like, and it's so hard, right? It's so hard. But every time my buddy Tony and I go in there, we left last Friday and we got back in my SUV here and we looked at each other. It's like, dude, we spent way too much fucking money in there. And he's like, I feel like we do that every time. And I'm like, I know. I'm like rubbing my eyes. Like, I feel like I just had a one night stand and I'm walking home. You know what I mean? Like, you have the walk of shame, right? And that fucking sucks. Nobody wants to go through that. And, you know, so when you think about it, you're like, damn, dude. And he's like, maybe we should take a break from going to the store. And I said, yeah, maybe we should. And we're both thinking about it. He collects Intellivision games. He loves Intellivision games. He bought Bubsy on SNES last time we were there, but he mainly focuses on Intellivision. But he has a job, but he's got other situations in his life that keep him not from having any money, really. So technically, him and I both really have no reason to be in that store. But it's fun, right, guys? Collecting video games especially is fun, man. Like, finding those rare gems. I got Dairanto, Deluxu, Melee in Japanese. Okay? And if I didn't go, I wouldn't have seen it, and I wouldn't have it now, right? Having these things is going to make me super duper happy, right? It's going to make my life so much better, right? No, they're sitting in my drawer. I don't even have a GameCube, let alone a Japanese region-locked cube. I just bought it because it's Japanese, and I love Japanese, and I love Japanese games. And there's nothing wrong with this, by the way. Collect if you need to. I'm just saying, if you're unemployed, you probably should take a break. I'm taking a break myself. Unless I saw something that I own already, flipping things like games I don't play or just random items in my room that I have left I can sell and make some money, then by all means, try to put that money towards paying bills. I know it's really hard because it feels super inconsequential. Like, what's 30 bucks, right? But if you can try and save it, then do it. But if not, you know, treat yourself. You know, as long as you're trying to change your situation, there's nothing wrong with collecting. And there's nothing wrong with collecting in general. You just have to be careful that you're collecting and make sure that you are separate from your collection, that you're detached, because your collection does not define you. It's not who you are, right? It's a part of who you are and reflects your personality and your interests, but you're not a collection of things, right? And by the way, you already know that I don't believe in sealed products, because it's stupid to collect sealed things, in my opinion, because you're going to die one day. Someone else is going to have that, and they might just open it. Who knows? So I don't know what you're grasping at. You might as well just open it and enjoy it. But same thing. You look at the things you have, and you're like, you know, this is cool, but when I'm gone, I don't know. Lord knows who's going to have my stuff when I'm gone. You know, especially if you don't have children or a wife to pass it on to. You know, who else is going to care about these things, right? The amount of care is relative to the person who's collecting or the person who's engaging in the hobby, right? So anyway, guys, I just wanted to make this video talking about, you know, be wary of collection addiction, right? And remember, to know and be free from the materialistic world is to know spirituality. Now, spirituality is tested by the material world. We have to be a part of society in the material world to test our gumption as spiritual practitioners. That is true. I do believe in that. 8 days a week. But don't test yourself too hard, right? Because everybody cracks once in a while. We're all human. We're imperfect. So be kind to yourself. Do what you love. Nothing wrong with collecting. Just be mindful. Be prudent. Be content with what you have, because the thing you want today, you might not care about tomorrow. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.